Hillary Clinton speaking to her supporters and talking about how she does not agree with Donald Trump supporters. And this somehow became an outrage. So let me show you the part that everyone is all abuzz over, and then I will defend it because she is absolutely correct. Let's watch.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. And unfortunately, there are people like that. And he has lifted them up. He has given voice to their websites that used to only have 11,000 people, now have 11 million. He tweets and retweets. They're offensive, hateful, mean-spirited rhetoric.
How dare she? She disagrees with the other side. Yeah, she does. Now, I'm going to prove to you in a second why she is factually correct. But first, I want to give you the other half that nobody else is talking about. She said all of that as a setup to how she actually, and we all have to reach out to Donald Trump supporters because of the other half. So hear the full context. Here's what she said next.
But that other basket of people are people who feel the government has let them down, the economy has let them down, nobody cares about them, nobody worries about what happens to their lives and their futures. They don't buy everything he says, but he seems to hold out some hope that their lives will be different. Those are people we have to understand and empathize with as well.
See, that's almost exactly what I say, which is that, so of course I agree with it, which is, hey, look, some of them are clearly love the fact that he's going to kick out the Mexicans, or he thinks he's going to kick out the Mexicans, and he's going to build a big wall between us and the others that they're so afraid of. And that's why you call it phobes, by the way, xenophobic, Islamophobic, etc. And he's not going to let the Muslims, the scary, scary Muslims into the country. Yeah, that's bigoted, and that's why some percentage of Trump supporters support him. But don't forget the other half. The other half are just pissed. And they're pissed at the establishment, and they're right to be pissed at the establishment. Donald Trump is not the right answer to that, but their wages are flat, and there are a lot of issues that they're legitimately angry about. We should address those folks. Now, that's the part that's being left out of all the other coverage, and that's in fact what she was trying to get at. Okay. Now, of course, her opponent is going to take this and make a political ad out of it right away. And that's not surprising. So let me show you the ad, and then again, I'll give you the reality of what Donald Trump supporters are according to the polling. All right, watch that.
Speaking to wealthy donors, Hillary Clinton called tens of millions of Americans deplorable.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
People like you, and you. Deplorable. You know what's deplorable? Hillary Clinton viciously demonizing hard-working people like you.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
That is horrible and deplorable because we're in the business of viciously demonizing people, not her. How dare she take our spotlight? That's our trick. The Muslims and the Mexicans and Obama is black and women are bleeding for wherever. We're in the viciously demonizing business, not Hillary Clinton. Can she please butt out of this? I am amused that as she's saying racist, bigoted, etc., they found the two black guys at the RNC. They put them in the ad, and an Asian. Two black guys and an Asian. There's a sitcom coming out later on CBS. Anyway, also the only guys at the RNC that they could find. So, yeah, I get it. It's their job to fight against her. So I'm not like wigged out by the ad. I'm actually much more upset at the media who are like, oh my God, she said that some Trump supporters might be bigoted. That's outrageous. Now we have to do false balance and say, okay, yep, no, just as guilty as the Donald Trump, who's encouraging bigotry. The person calling out bigotry, just as guilty. No, not just as guilty, vastly different. Okay, now let's finally get to, is she right? So here's polling. 65% of Donald Trump supporters believe that Barack Obama is a Muslim. Now, it is a verifiable fact that he is Christian. He has said it hundreds of times. He goes to church. In fact, those same guys criticize them for sitting in the pews as Reverend Wright said things they did not like. Nonetheless, 65% say, oh, he's the other. That black guy with a father from Kenya, he's the other. He's a Muslim. Well, what is that? No, don't call it bigotry. Ooh, that would hurt their feelings. They'd get triggered. Okay, now let's go to what percentage of Trump supporters believe that Obama is not even American. He's not one of us. He's the others. 59%. There's a short form, there's a long form birth certificate. There's an ad in the paper in Hawaii back when he was born announcing his birth. But no, the global conspiracy planted that ad full well knowing that he would grow up to be the first black president. You have to be a lunatic to think that. And yes, 59% of Trump supporters are lunatics. I'll go way more than Hillary Clinton. Yes, they're bigoted. Yes, they're racist, xenophobic. You say it, you name it. But also, they're detached from reality. Oh, he's Muslim and not American, not like us good white people, and maybe an alien, but I'm not sure yet. They haven't polled on it. By the way, this is from PPP National Polling. They were literally the most accurate poll in the 2012 election. Okay? So, and then there's another poll coming up in a second, but let's stick with this one. What percent of Donald Trump supporters believe that homosexuals should be banned from entering the United States? 31% say ban gay people from the U.S. No, don't call them homophobic, though. These are, by the way, the same guys who pretend to be outraged that the Muslims discriminate against gays. They're like, hey, Muslims, you're getting into our territory. We're the ones who discriminate against gays, not you, okay? Maybe they're jealous. Okay, now it gets worse. What percentage of Trump supporters believe that whites are the superior race? Now, come on, this can't be that high. Okay, fine, 2%, 5%. There's outliers in every case. No. 16% of Trump supporters believe that whites are the superior race. And 14% are not sure. They're still looking into it. Only 69% of Trump supporters say, no, there's no superior race. Whites are not the superior race. But 16% say yes, 14% not sure. How dare you call them racist? Just because they think whites are the superior race, you're going to call that racist? Yeah, that's kind of the definition. So now you can say, well, look, on one measure it's 65%, on another measure it's 16 to 30%. Well, what should we call that? Kind of about half. Okay. Yes, some are 30% and some are 65 and 59. All right. So one last one from you, from a YouGov poll, a different poll. The National YouGov poll from January found that 20% of Trump supporters disagreed with Lincoln's signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed Southern slaves. 1/5 of Trump supporters think the slaves should not have been freed. How dare you call them bigoted? How dare you call them racist? He encouraged it, and he got exactly what he wanted. These are his guys. So are they a basket of deplorables? Well, they're a basket case in a lot of ways. But yes, those opinions are deplorable, and yes, a very significant percentage of Trump supporters hold them. Now, Hillary Clinton half backpedaled the next day, which drives me crazy. She said, well, I regret saying half. That was wrong. But then she went on and gave like 8 paragraphs on why they are deplorable. So I like that part. But I wouldn't have backpedaled at all and said, look at the numbers. If I was her, I would have done a press conference and I would have taken the polling that we just showed you, put it on a giant slides and said, here they are. Here they are. I didn't make these numbers up. I didn't tell them to say Obama's a Muslim and not one of us. They said it. They said it. I didn't say it. They said it. So, yes, there are a lot of people in the Trump camp who don't know all of Trump's statements and who vaguely know it and are a little uncomfortable with it, but they're mad and they want change. Those are people we can talk to. And don't assume that every Donald Trump supporter is racist or bigoted, because it's not true. I've met perfectly lovely people who were Trump supporters, and we can actually talk to them and convince them. It's not easy, but it's possible. And they're generally angry about the same things we're angry about. But yes, it's true that there is another significant percentage who cannot be convinced because they don't live on the same planet as we do. They live in an alternate reality where everybody's out to get them. Obama's one of those people, and he's a foreigner, and Hillary Clinton is one of the people out to get us, and she's mentally deranged. And yeah, those people, you could call them whatever you want. Put them in any basket you like. But they do hold those views. So don't pretend they don't, because they do. At the Young Turks, we believe in change. We believe we can change the media, make it more independent. Come do it with us. tytnetwork.com/join.